Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this, of course, is not David. Um, so I was going to take the night off, and then I saw something on my YouTube which caught my attention. I texted David. I haven't heard back from him, so this video may be really short because I would rather do this with David. But um, the headline from Forbes magazine: What we know about billionaire Peter Thiel's secret dialogue society, including who's involved. So apparently, this hacktivist group, hacked and leaked some information regarding this ultra secret society called Dialog. It was founded by Peter Thiel back in 2006. The article says it was him and Aaron Hoffman who co-founded Dialog as a private, invitation only, and quote, bipartisan network of influential people in technology, politics, academia, finance, government, and beyond. Um, they describe themselves as a place for the off the record relationships among leaders from different fields and ideological backgrounds. And the group hosts at least one in person retreat per year at a lavish location. So basically, it's a group of super ultra wealthy people. It includes a lot of billionaires. It includes senators. It includes uh, government officials. Some of the people that are members include Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Um, I'm just grabbing some of the names that I recognize: Ted Cruz, Cory Booker, um, uh, Jared Kushner, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, um, and so on and so forth. It's basically a group of very powerful, very influential people meeting, kind of in secret. They have meetings, and they're guaranteed that whatever they say in the meeting stays in the meeting. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And I don't know how I feel about this. On one hand, it's like, okay, I guess if you're a billionaire, the people you could talk to and relate to the most are other billionaires, or if you're a real political animal, the people you can relate to the most are other political animals. Uh, and you have an opportunity to kind of uh, network and talk and share ideas and thoughts and blah, 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 blah. Okay. However, the other part of me is like, I don't know if this is a good thing because, you know, if nothing else, Trump has shown us that there are strings that work the puppets. And these are the guys that are pulling the strings. These are the guys pulling the strings here. And, they're forming relationships, having very candid conversations that they know will never get leaked to the press or, make it outside of the room that they're having these conversations. And it really kind of supports that whole, there's this group of global elites that are controlling and running everything. I mean, this sure fits the description of a secret group of global elites running and controlling things. It's just, I don't feel good about this. I'm not a normally suspicious person, but with all the crap that's been going on and all of the stuff that Trump has been exposing, and how there's just no shame about it, that no one's trying to hide the corruption and the grift. And this is just one more aspect of it. A hacker group had to go in there and get it, but they found it. And, it's just, leaves me very uneasy. So I'm just going to go take a look at this and just see, what's going on with this. Is this something that is benign and not harmful, or is this something that we should be very concerned about? Is this part of the problem that's causing the problems that we're facing right now? Entertainment purposes only. I'm just going to take a look at the energy around Dialog and this secret society co-founded by Peter Thiel and say, what's the energy around this? Because I don't know. I've got a bad feeling about this. To quote Han Solo. Okay, make sure I got the deck right set up. Okay, so what do we got? The foundation of the reading is the Seven of Cups. Dave has called this the ethics and integrity card, or rather the lack of ethics and integrity. This is kind of illusions and delusions. Don't believe everything that you're being sold, or what's put in front of you might not be real. You've got this society of people that, it's secret, ultra secret, and these are ultra powerful, ultra rich people. And, there's no advertising in this. And, and we're starting with the illusions, the illusion card. Is this the illusion that we have a representative democracy and everything is okay? Our representatives have our best interests at heart. I mean, because once again, we got Ted Cruz in there and Cory Booker. So we've got both political parties represented here. No wonder it's bipartisan. I guess corruption potentially can run both ways, right? Entertainment purposes only. So we start with that. The challenge is the Page of Swords. Coming up with new ideas, trying to challenge the status quo. I mean, these are people that they like the status quo, and they're not going to be like change agents for the little guy. They're quite comfortable with the power structure because they're on the top of the power pyramid. Energy underneath it is the Eight of Pentacles. A lot of wealth, a lot of connections, a lot of work being done out of eyesight, out of camera sight, out of verbal recording range. So a lot of hard work going on, a lot of things going on behind the scenes here. I mean, I'm not necessarily panicking what we have here, but I'm not feeling comfortable with it either. In the past, you got the Three of Swords, heartbreak, betrayal. And who's been betrayed? Is it something happened and that which is what caused these guys to come together, or is their past actions have been heartbreaking and betraying it? And I kind of feel that makes a lot more sense. I mean, it's just I have a tough time believing that all of these guys are super progressive and they're looking out for the little guy. Once again, I'm saying that, right? Current energy. Four of Wands. Just happy with the actions that are happening, with things that have been going on. I mean, they're probably making money hand over fist. All of them, Overarching energy is the Star. Just they are the top of the heap. They're the star performers. They're the ones that people look up to, the ones people admire in this age of ego. And the age of ego is ending, and they might not be happy that the age of ego is ending. Lesson to be learned. Knight of Cups. It's the Knight of Cups card is about like a peace offering. It's also described as the false friend. So these are people that may be trying to bridge the gaps between different cultures, different industries, coming together in a peaceful situation to have conversations. I guess that's a positive way to look at it. But it's also kind of the false friend card. Be careful of what's in that cup, of what they're offering you. Be very careful. outcome is the Knight of Wands. The energy on this group is they get things done. They take actions that get things done. All right, that's pretty benign right now. I would go to say for those cards, mm, not great cards, but not bad cards either. You know, they probably don't see themselves as evil or corrupt or manipulative, but I can see where, you know, you get these people and they get information and insights that common people don't. I guess, it's a great way to keep power in this little group of people because there's rich and powerful people and influential people here. By being a member of this group, you hold on to that and you have opportunities and insights that aren't available to people that aren't part of this little cadre of people. I think that's kind of what I'm getting from this. So they don't think they're evil, but yikes. I mean, it's just weird though, because yeah, it was kind of one of the MAGA things that, there was this group of global elites that was committing cannibalism and trafficking young boys and girls, and all of a sudden, here is this group of global elites that are meeting together and having discussions, and everything's off the record, and they can say whatever they want with no fear of retribution or anything coming back to boomerang on them. That's a little frightening, actually. It's like, wow, you know, they may have been pointing the finger at the wrong political party, but both political parties are represented. I'm not saying that just because they're in this group they've committed cannibalism or trafficked children, but it's weird how these things are starting to align. You know, if not too long ago, if you would have said there was this secret group of global elites that were meeting and having these, plotting and planning and cavorting and all that stuff, I would have thought you were nuts. And here it is. I'm the one that was nuts. I was the dumb one. This is so fascinating. Um, what do we need to know? As a non-global elite, what do we need to know? Do we need to do anything? What do we need to know? Do we need to take action? Is this benign or is this harmful? Page of Wands. We have information now that we didn't have before. And this is about messaging, new messaging. It's to me, the Page of Wands and the Ace of Wands are almost kind of the same thing. It's a new message, or it's time to maybe take a new action. The challenge is the Queen of Pentacles, the people that want to hold on to the power and take care of the power and wealth that they have. They don't want to give it up. Like I said earlier, they like the status quo. It works for them. The energy underneath it is the Lover's card. So what do we need to know? What actions do we need to take? I to me, the Lover's card in this case, maybe there's more of us than there are of them, and we need, this group of people would certainly benefit from the majority of people, the millions of people not working together and not banding together and giving this group a very critical view, a critical look at. So the more they keep us apart, the more they hold on to power. And the energy underneath this is, maybe this is a sign that we need to put aside our differences on what's the best way to secure the southern border, or what's the best way to handle immigrants who are here illegally, and start coming together and saying, what are we going to do about this group of people that may be running the government and not our representatives running the government. In the past, you got the Ten of Wands, the burdens, the actions. This could just simply be if this group of the secret society dialogue does not have our best interest at heart, then they're putting the burden on us. Keep them working, keep them distracted, keep them apart so that we can retain our power, so that we can continue holding on to the power and to the money. Current energy, the Six of Pentacles. I just read an article too. It's somewhat related to what I was just saying, where a lot of people are in agreement that the gap between the haves and the have-nots is growing. And that's what this card could totally be, is the rich are getting much richer, the poor are not getting much back. The distribution of wealth is definitely favoring folks that are wealthier. And one of the comments from one of the people that were interviewed is that, the very rich people, they don't have the empathy to understand what the more working class people are going through, especially lately with inflation and gas prices and food prices, and the cost of normal goods going up so much. Trump has really made a couple of comments that were really tone deaf about I love inflation and the whole gas price and everything. I mean, he's hurting his base, and the division of wealth, the gap between the haves and have-nots is growing, and that's the current energy. Here come the Pentacle cards. Overarching energy is the Ten of Pentacles. Once again, the folks with the money want to keep it in the family. They want to keep the power. They want to keep the wealth. And for us, we need to change the message. We need to build our relationships. Stop fighting each other. Stop trying to take actions that are counterproductive, and start recognizing that we need to take actions because we're not getting, the folks that the have-nots are not getting their fair share. It's being hoarded. The lesson to be learned is temperance. It's about balance. It's about coming together and detoxifying the political situation, the economic situation, and trying to come to peace with each other to start building relationships. It's they call them the 1%ers, right? The 1%ers, I think the biggest thing they fear is that the 99%ers get together and stop fighting and say, hey, wait a minute. We're not happy with what's happening here. It's time for action. The outcome, Three of Cups. If we can change the messaging, come together, and strike a balance and stop fighting with each other, we can start celebrating and we can start making progress to neuter these types of groups where the power is concentrated and it's not being shared, and the wealth is concentrated and it's not being shared. That's what I'm getting from this. This is really kind of fascinating to me because like I said, I'm today years old when I found out that this alleged secret society exists. Right? I mean, I'm gonna go with the assumption that if it's starting to appear in Forbes, that they've done enough research to validate that, yeah, there's a high probability of this being accurate. So this is very fascinating to me. I was very naive. I guess I still am. But wow, just wow. I guess we could do one more. I got a little bit of time here. We're almost 20 minutes in. Well, I just want to know, Will the power and influence of dialogue, now that it's been exposed, will what will happen to their power and influence? Will it change? Because I mean, if they're doing good things, you don't want it to change. If they're doing bad things, you definitely want it to change. And if they're just completely neutral, I guess you'd be indifferent. Is their power going to change now that they've been exposed? Just a little four-carder. Queen of Cups, keep your emotions under control. This is about keeping secrets, keeping a lid on things. This is that was their outcome card because they want to take actions. If you keep it secret, we can continue taking the actions we've been taking. Working behind the scenes in the dark, doing the collaborations that no one else knows about. But that could be coming to an end. You know, that now that this has been exposed, this is coming to an end. And there's the Lover's card. I guess it comes to an end if we stop fighting with each other. The MAGA Republicans and the progressive Democrats, your independents, whether you're left or right of political spectrum, realizing that we're being pitted against each other. And if we could just stop fighting, we could put an end to this, end to the secrets, and prevent them from taking actions and keeping secrets going. That's what I'm getting from this. It's kind of interesting read. So hopefully you found it interesting. Well, although tomorrow when I see how many people actually watched this. So thank you so much for watching. I totally appreciate you. I'm going to be on the road most of the day tomorrow. So I might not get to the comments until late in the day or maybe even Saturday. I try to clear out all the comments every single day. I might not be able to do it tomorrow. I want to give a shout out to Patricia King. Patricia, thank you so much for your kind contribution. Hopefully I can get you a better card today than I got you last time. Here we go. Oh, hey, much better card. Knight of Swords, yes. Charging boldly forth. Some would say with some reckless abandon. But thank you so much for your kind contribution. And then just a card for the rest of us. We got the Page of Swords. It's about new ideas, taking new approaches, taking the fight on with a renewed vim and vigor. So maybe that's what we need to do. Anyways, I hope you're all having a great day, and I will catch you real soon. Take care, folks. Bye.